How is it going, Bears fans? Welcome back to another episode of Beared Down Uncut, where we talk everything Bears every day of the week. Darnell Mooney had 3 catches for 38 yards for the Bears on Sunday in his NFL debut. And will he get a bigger role in the Bears' offense because of it? Today, in episode number 83 of Uncut, we are going to be breaking down Darnell Mooney's role in this offense and discussing where he lands on the depth chart. Before we get into this one, I would like to say, YouTube, you guys have been absolutely killing it recently, so I would like to set a like goal on this video for, let's do 75 likes. I'm feeling ambitious. It's Wednesday when you're seeing this. It's another double upload day. We have a great episode of Meet the Opponents coming out tonight, so be sure to look out for that. But 75 likes, let's do it. Also, the grind to 3,000 subscribers is on. Do us a favor if you are new to the channel and want Bears content every day of the week. Click that red button to subscribe and click the bell for post notifications. I am your host, Chris Malpe, and today on 11:40 p.m. on a Tuesday night, I am joined with my co-host Parth Shaw to discuss the blazing speed of Darnell Mooney. Parth, how's it going, man? And you just won some money, so talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, I definitely will. I put some big money on the Nuggets tonight, and they won Game 7.
Yeah.
I also put big money on the White Sox tonight, and they won. And they got the second best record in the MLB. So, if you're a White Sox fan, it's good times. But yeah, let's talk some Darnell Mooney here.
Yeah. Just to sidetrack for a sec, Bulls fans watching that Nuggets team, I feel like you got to be excited about Arturas Karnisovas and what he brings to Chicago. I'm beyond impressed with how that Nuggets team did. So, kudos to them. Let's see if they can take on the Lakers and possibly take down LeBron James. We're not quite here to talk about LeBron today, but we are here to talk about a 5th round, 173rd overall pick for the Chicago Bears, Darnell Mooney, and his hopefully increasing role on this offense. So let's hop right into it. We can't start this one off without talking about how Mooney got here, so let's start from the beginning. Mooney fell to the Bears in the 2020 NFL Draft after running an impressive 4.38 40-yard dash at the Combine. He did fall to the Bears in the 5th round. That's most likely because it was reported that a lot of teams seemed to be worried when it came to his stature and his size. He is only 5'11", 175 pounds, basically about my size. Obviously, I'm not as strong or as fast, but that's what he came into the league at. Once making the 53-man roster for the Bears after an impressive training camp, Mooney probably knew that it wasn't a sure thing that he was going to have an impact on this roster based on the past years of Bears' late-round draft picks at wide receiver. We all know Ridley, who was a 4th-round pick in 2019. He didn't play until Week 12 last season, didn't really make much of an impact whatsoever, and was a healthy scratch on Sunday after not appearing on the injury report. Something impressive about Mooney is when he took the field for the first time to warm up for his first NFL game, Lions players kept yelling, "Speed, speed, speed," per Patrick Finley of the Chicago Sun-Times. So they quickly picked up on that 4.38 40-yard dash speed. But heading into his NFL debut, Mooney did catch all 3 passes thrown his way for 38 yards. Before his first NFL receptions, Lions defenders definitely saw what Mooney brought to the table. And, Mooney might fit the bill as a replacement for Bears wide receiver Taylor Gabriel, or former Bears wide receiver Taylor Gabriel, who missed much of last season with concussions and other injuries. His first NFL reception, talking back about Mooney now, showed the type of game-changing quickness that he can bring to Matt Nagy's offense and help him spread the field and, I guess, keep defenses guessing. Mooney continues to say that he wants to be a bigger playmaker for the Bears' offense this season, and he hopes his role in Matt Nagy's offense continues to strengthen, and I'm sure a lot of Bears fans also want his role to strengthen as we head down the stretch entering Week 2. Matt Nagy also mentioned that Mooney's role hopefully will increase moving forward. Now, taking a look at the Bears' depth chart, the Bears probably have about 3 wide receiver slots locked in. Obviously, Allen Robinson, who's been the talk of the town recently. Hopefully he can get paid soon and stay here and be able to help mentor Mooney. Anthony Miller at wide receiver 2, who normally plays out of the slot, but we did see him outside a decent bit on Sunday as well. And then Ted Ginn Jr., who surprisingly saw not much action on Sunday. He was only targeted once on what probably was Mitchell Trubisky's worst throw of the game, but you would have to assume that wide receiver 3 spot is more than likely his. But below that on the depth chart, it's a mystery, more than likely thanks to Cordero Patterson making the move to running back. Obviously, the Bears do have 3 receivers left on the depth chart with Mooney, Ridley, and Javon Wims. Actions speak louder than words, and Mooney definitely deserves a bigger shot in this offense moving forward in my eyes. So, Parth, I want to ask you, do you expect his role to continue to expand throughout the season, even as early as next week in week 2?
I mean, it definitely should expand, in my opinion. We saw the Bears excel in play action. And if we can start taking deep shots with Darnell Mooney just running straight up routes and basically taking the top off the defense, and hopefully Trubisky can, land the long ball, which is something that would definitely be a big addition to this offense because we did not have the long ball last year at all. So if we can add that aspect in the offense, that would be awesome. And he just has game-changing speed. You can run wide receiver screens, bubble screens with him if you want to. Run straight up crossing routes. I know that's a concept that a lot of teams are starting to use, college crossing routes. That's what they call it. And you can basically take the top off the defense with that just by running 2 crossing routes and picking apart the zones. I think Darnell Mooney will actually probably end up as a wide receiver 3. And if anything happens to Allen Robinson, you could see Darnell Mooney becoming a wide receiver 2 this early, in my opinion.
Yeah, that's definitely a bold prediction, but Mooney does have that 4.38 speed. You said it perfectly. If you send him on a go route, he can definitely not only take the top off the defense, but give a defense more to worry about, and then get some other players open. I mean, it's crazy to imagine what the Bears can do, putting guys like Cordero Patterson, Tyreek Cohen, and Darnell Mooney all on the field at the same time. You can really mess around with a defense there. And someone's bound to be wide open. And I think we saw Mitchell Trubisky do a good job on Sunday of sometimes going through his progressions and looking for a second option, so that could definitely help. Trubisky did finish week 1 with the second highest rate of positively graded passes on Pro Football Focus and the 3rd highest rate of negatively graded passes on Pro Football Focus. So there's Trubisky for you, but we can only hope he improves moving forward because he could have quite the weapon here in Mooney. Let's take a look at Kansas City. You take a look at the Chiefs wide receiver Tyreek Hill, who at the end of his second season in 2017 had 1,000 receiving yards with 7 touchdowns of 30-plus yards, and 5 of 7 of those touchdowns on plays 50 yards or longer. Parth, we know that the Bears like to spread the ball out a lot, so expecting production like that out of Mooney this year or even in his second year is quite unrealistic. But do you think we can expect Matt Nagy to try and incorporate Mooney in his offense like Andy Reid uses Tyreek Hill in Kansas City?
I think that played a big part actually into drafting Darnell Mooney. Matt Nagy tried to experiment with Tyreek Cohen playing like that, Tyreek Hill. It just didn't work out last year. We saw that. So that's why they probably drafted Darnell Mooney, just to bring some speed back into the offense, replace Taylor Gabriel, if anything. But from what I've seen from Darnell Mooney, he can become that Tyreek Hill. He has that potential, even though it's just been 1 game. I'm not trying to sound like I'm overreacting, but it just, even in camp, we were hearing great things about him. So if we can incorporate that, that would be amazing. I don't know anything about Allen Robinson's extension, but that's a hot topic right now. But let's say if we do not keep Allen Robinson, we could see a breakout season from Darnell Mooney in year 2 if you think about it.
Yeah, I've tried to avoid talking about Robinson all day, so I'm gonna. I'm kind of gassed out from talking about him. Look, I hope the deal gets done, but I do think the Bears are going to use Mooney like Tyreek Hill moving forward. Tyreek Hill actually very similar numbers compared to Mooney coming into the year he was drafted. If you look at, I believe, the 2016 NFL draft, Tyreek Hill was a community college guy who ran track and played football, ended up at Oklahoma State, University of West Alabama, and then coming into his professional career, ran a 4.29 40-yard dash, and was also a fifth-round pick, just 12 picks after Mooney at 165 overall. I don't think we're going to see incredible production out of Mooney like we see out of Tyreek Hill, but I do think moving forward, Mooney can turn into a player that, is similar to Hill, has similar aspects to him, maybe doesn't put up the exact same numbers, but still can be a deep threat. It doesn't seem realistic now, but maybe could also become a kickoff and punt returner way down the road. But I do think the Bears nailed this pick in the 5th round, and it's definitely paying off even throughout 1 week for Ryan Pace and Matt Nagy. Mike Furry, the Bears' wide receiver coach, raved about Mooney in week 1, compared him to a 5th-year veteran. And also Matt Nagy had to say how it was crazy to see Mooney on his first catch get down to his knees, catch the ball, and then be able to realize around him that he wasn't tackled and get up and try to run. So, Mooney is looking like quite the product just through 1 week, and I think we can expect a breakout season from him in comparison to what we've seen from Bears late-round draft pick receivers in the past. Javon Wims, obviously, coming into the league in 2017, had a good year as a 7th-round pick, and then 2018, excuse me. And then in 2019, Riley really couldn't get it going, but I think we're going to see different numbers from Darnell Mooney moving forward. One more thing before we close this one off, Parth. Obviously, we saw Riley Ridley as a healthy scratch on Sunday, which surprises some Bears fans. He was a 4th-round pick last year, didn't see much action, and a lot would figure that he would get another chance as a pristine route runner. So it's really murky when you look down the Bears' wide receiver depth chart. We don't know what's going to happen. We did see Javon Wims catch a touchdown, and it seems like he's preferred over Ridley as well. So what do you think about how this Bears depth chart plays out? Where would you put the 3 wide receivers if you had to rank them with Mooney, Wims, and Ridley closing off the depth chart? Because we saw some good production out of Wims. Also, Mooney was pretty solid for his first game ever, and then we don't know what's to come from Ridley. So how would you spell out the end of that depth chart?
It's really tough. I think they all 3 are super talented. I think Ryan Pace has hit on his late-round wide receivers. We could all agree on that for sure. Mooney in the 5th round, Ridley in the 4th round. Wims in the 7th round is an amazing steal, too. I mean, he has so much potential. Same with Ridley and same with Mooney. It's so hard to try to pick your 3. But if we go by personal preference, I'm a big Riley Ridley fan. I just love that he's a great, pristine route runner. I feel like route running is one of the most underrated traits if you look at it.
Look at Anthony Miller too.
Exactly, Anthony Miller. Route running is a huge part in a wide receiver's game. So I just love that about Riley Ridley. So I'm going to put him at number 1, and then speed kills. The Bears need speed on their offense, so Darnell Mooney at 2. And as much as I hate to put Wims at 3, he's so talented as well. It's just how it goes with it. I think the Bears are actually loaded at wide receivers. I don't think there's anything to worry about at that position.
I'm actually gonna flip yours completely. I'm gonna put Javon Wims in number 1. You know what? I was someone coming into the season who thought that Javon Wims may get cut or possibly be on the practice squad because the Bears didn't invest much into him and they invested more into both Mooney and Ridley. But Riley Ridley's situation's really weird. You look at Javon Wims, I think he's a great hybrid wide receiver. He has the speed. He can make the catches, has a good catch radius, also a pretty good route runner. I'm going to put him at 1. Mooney, obviously, we talked about him this entire episode, can take the top off a defense. I'm going to put him at number 2, and I think he is going to see that increased role that he wants to see. Something about my gut just tells me that Mooney's going to continue to search for this Bears offense and continue to make more big plays and show us what he's made of. Unlike the wide receivers in the past, I'm not saying Javon Wims and Ridley didn't show us what they were basically up to in their rookie seasons, but something in my gut tells me Mooney's role is going to continue to increase and that the Bears like him a lot and what he's able to do. And then Ridley, I'm going to put him at 3. It's not that I don't want him to receive a shot, but it was weird seeing him being a healthy scratch a couple of days ago. I definitely think he deserves a shot down the road. We'll have to see how this Allen Robinson extension plays out. I do think the Bears will extend Robinson. I think he wants to stay in Chicago. It just depends on whether or not Ryan Pace wants to get it done. I do think he wants to get it done, so that limits the opportunities for Ridley a little bit. But something about my gut tells me Mooney's going to continue to get more chances, and I've liked what I've seen in 3 seasons out of Javon Wims so far. I think his role also continues to increase. I think it's good that we have a problem this far down the depth chart. Don't you agree, Parth?
Yeah, I mean, it's awesome to see a loaded wide receiver group. It's crazy how much we can just talk about the bottom 3 wide receivers in the depth chart for that long. That just shows you how much talent the Bears got at that wide receiver, and honestly how much love we got for the game, you know? I mean, it's just crazy how long we've just talked about these 3 guys for.
No kidding. That was about a 5-minute segment there, but that'll pretty much close it out for episode 83 of Uncut. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. If you want more content from us, you can head over to our website, bearddown.com. We're posting articles on there every other day, and there's a ton of people who help us out behind the scenes who deserve recognition. So if you've got some time and you want some more great content, do us a favor, head over to our website. It's definitely worthwhile. If you want to find the podcast on Instagram and Twitter, we post sneak peeks of podcasts. We also do giveaways there every once in a while. You can find us on both Instagram and Twitter at Beared Down. Definitely another worthwhile follow. And you can also find the links to Parth and my Instagram fan pages down in the description. Parth Shaw, that'll pretty much do it for this one. Second straight night of recording late. But I got to tell you, these Bears fans, everyone that's been supporting Beared Down recently, definitely has been keeping me motivated. Feels good to have a couple double uploads in a row. We're pushing out content like nobody else, and it feels real good. So any last words?
I love doing it. It's just so much fun to just sit here and talk about some Bears football. I mean, it may be midnight right now, but I can talk about Bears football for 24 hours a day. It's just how much I love Bears football. So I love doing it. Just blessed to have the opportunity to do it for a bunch of people listening right now. But yeah, then shout out to Zach Rimbos, our video editor, for all these videos.
Definitely
so far.
Puts in tireless work.
And he just put out a super nice video that you guys should probably go check out. The Extend Allen Robinson hype music tape or whatever.
Yeah.
It's a great video. I loved it.
We'll link Zach's edit down in the description. Look, there's so many people that work here tirelessly for us, but you guys give us the support that we never thought we were going to be able to have, and it motivates us to keep putting out this content. So do us a favor if you want another double upload. We can work on it for Thursday, if not Friday. We're trying to put out as much content as possible, and you guys seem to be loving it. And as long as you guys continue to show the support, we're definitely going to keep doing it for you guys. Once again, my name is Chris Malpe. It's been a pleasure to be your host. Bears fans, do us a favor. Drop in the comments whether or not you think Darnell Mooney's role is going to continue to increase in Chicago. And as always, stay safe and bear down. We'll see you in the next one. Peace.